Hello everyone, here are the top 15 best base locations in Grounded. When picking these locations, I used 3 separate categories to determine whether they were actually a good location. The first category was safety. I wouldn't want you to build a base just to immediately die to a patrolling wolf spider. 2 is available building materials and resources nearby. And then lastly, number 3, is there actual buildable space and do you have room to build a decent base or to expand in the future? Every base in this list meets at least 2 of these 3 categories. And with that, let's get started. Now, base number 1 is located here in the snack bar front on the corner of what looks like a small porch. You'll see the plate, and we are in this corner here. Now, when it comes to safety, there is only one threat, and that threat is going to be a bombardier beetle that patrols over on this side. They walk from this side, they walk to the edge right here, and then walk back up this side. So if you were to go through and just block this off, basically prevent any sort of actual vision to the bombardier beetle, he should leave you alone. Now when it comes to resources, you actually have plenty of dandelions just literally right below where you're going to be sitting up. Then you do have other resources nearby being in a more centralized location. You've got things like berries and acorns down here. So overall, it's a great first spot. Alright, now next up here at base 2, as you can see, base 1 was directly over there at the hot dog cart. We are located here on the map, located in the ceremony area. Now down below you see the burgle with its head torn off. Up here, when it comes to safety, there's only 2 ways to get to this area. One is by taking this small little pipe all the way across, which is the only way you can really get here in the early game. And then on the back side here is actually going to be one of the bridges for the orb weavers. I've not personally seen any orb weavers or spiderlings cross this. There are some orb weavers, though, that are down here on this side. So I would keep an eye out for them, but honestly, they're not that hard to deal with, and you can build up here. It's pretty flat. As you can see, I use some of the scaffolding here. There is a bee and some raw science. And you get a really nice view of the entire yard, and again, you are very centralized. Now for base number 3, we're going to be located over here in the quarter in the entrance zone. As you can see, there's this frisbee here, and underneath this frisbee, you actually have this area that's completely blocked off. You can only get to it from the roots, and then over here, there are going to be the trees that extend over to it, and then there's just one small little entrance you have to protect. As you can see, you can also place down lots of sap here, and being just near the tree, you have access to the acorns and many other valuable resources like the thistle plant, mushrooms, trees, dandelions. I 100% recommend building on this side of the tree, as the back side of the tree on that side over there is going to be a bunch of scorpions. The only thing that you have nearby here is I think there are some burrowing larvae just down below, but outside of that, nothing should cross your path, and you should be pretty safe here. Now, next up is going to be number 4, and this is going to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle base. It is not nearly the same level of strength as it is in Grounded 1, but you can go through and build in here, and you've got quite a bit of space to work with here in the back. Now, my advice is do not build anything past this location here, as there is actually a mosquito that will walk almost up to about right here. So you do have to consider that the one mosquito will be near your base, and you do have 3 spiderlings that spawn back here. But if you really like these tight, cozy spaces, and it's got natural protection against most raids, minus this little corridor here, as a lot of the larger insects I don't think could fit in here if you barricade it off. But yeah, it's going to be located right here on the map. Going to be in the picnic table area on the left-hand side. Alright, now next up is going to be base location 5, which is going to be this big rock here. You are fairly close to the tree as well. You can go through and place sap collectors on these tree branches here as well. When it comes to threats, there's a big old snail just over there, some aphids, and there's a whole lot of nothing else. There is a bunch of spiders down there, but nothing that I have noticed has actually patrolled up here. And here's where you're located on the map. By the way, as you can tell, I've actually made base locations in nearly every single zone to try and help keep at least minimal outposts for each area. So even if you don't make it a main base, it may be good just to make small outposts in some of these recommended areas. Alright, now we're at base location 6 here, and it's going to be located just on the edge of the statue in the ceremony biomes. Now the only downside is that this actual rock cannot be built directly on. You do have to provide it with some form of support, as you can see here. So I use scaffolding down. But the only threat is going to be a bombardier beetle just down there. You've got crow feathers though, and a whole bunch of flat space to work with. It looks really nice here. You've got loads of resources. You're actually going to be really close to the middle of the map once the map expands as well. So kind of future-proofing yourself here. You can also go through and build in other sections. This whole side on this area over here is mostly flat, and a lot of them are buildable. You do have some spiders down in the area, some orb weavers. This side, though, is full of scorpions. Don't recommend that side. But yeah, it's a really nice flat area. And it's pretty quiet as well. Now next up is going to be location number 7, located just to the left of the picnic table. When it comes to safety, the only hostile threats I've seen are 2 red soldier ants that patrol this area right here. I've not seen anything else all around, but you are still elevated to stay safe from those ants, and in the event that you do get raided. And then you are basically completely surrounded by building materials. You got dandelions, grass seeds, normal grass, pretty much everything you could want. Now location number 8 is going to be this giant rock here, and there's no natural ways for bugs to get up here in any way whatsoever. Consider this basically the baseball of Grounded 2. It's going to be located right here in the snack bar front. The way for you to get up is to walk to the back corner here and just jump at this ledge here. And then once up, you do have all this room to work with. And again, there's no natural way for bugs to get up here. When it comes to what's around here, you will find that there's some red ants, there's some mites. I do believe that, which direction is it? That direction, right around here, there is a mantis, but there shouldn't be anything in this general vicinity. And then you are really close to the actual mission or research station for early game, so it'll be pretty easy to go to this location here or even this location. Alright, for base location number 9, it's a little bit different, and this is probably the least safe of the areas so far, but I really like this location. It's the least safe because there's actually an orc or beaver down there, and you have the little spiders go through and patrol these branches up here. But you're in this elevated mushroom-like area, and there is a whole bunch of rare resources nearby, but the best part is there is a research station just down below you, and it's going to be located up here in the far corner of the map, so having a base that's pretty safe to get to, and by the way, you can get to it without building. You can just go through and drop down here, and if you are very, very careful, you can climb this branch all the way up to the top there. Just don't block off the entrance, and from about right here, you can jump onto the mushroom. So yeah, I really like this kind of tree platform mushroom-like base. Now next up is going to be base location 10, 11, and 12, and all 3 of these are going to be the tree stumps. Now the reason I selected all 3, not just one, is for a couple of different reasons. One, let me show you the locations. This is going to be number 10 between the picnic table and the snack bar front. This is number 11 here in between the grass games and picnic table. And then number 12 here is going to be in between these 2 areas. And if you look, they form this really nice line in the middle of the current available map. Then on top of that, these 2 are interconnected with a way to go through and get up. And I'll show you how to get up here without any building whatsoever. And then I will also show you how to get up here as well. But being kind of in the center of the map, you are close to nearly every single resource. You can basically see the entire park, and there is no safer spot than these spots on the map when it comes to dealing with raids or creatures. Only flying creatures can get up here to you. Now these locations are all interconnected with this large rope, and realistically there's only one way for the player to get up here without building, and I'm going to go through and take you over to that. As you can see, there is an orb weaver bridge in between this one here, but just on the other side of this location here is going to be how you can actually get up, and I'll bring you to that now. So now how you get to location 10 and 11 is going to be this tiny little twig sticking up, similar to how the baseball worked in Grounded 1, and this is located right here on the map, just to the left of the Mix R event here, and as you can see, just above this hexagonal building. Right here is where this twig is located, and that's how you can easily access location 11 and location 10. Now let me go through and bring you over to base location 12. Now for location 12, we're basically just on this giant rock, and then you just go through and you can build a stairs or a ramp to get up to this rope. And then location 12 is the pillar that's going to be more flat. You do have to watch out for a couple of bombardier beetles down below, and this will get developed later. But the reason I mentioned all 3 of these is because having outposts, like I mentioned earlier, having an outpost where you can throw down a lean-to and a roasting spit in a safe area that cannot be raided is absolutely huge. Alright, now next up is going to be base location 13. Now the only way to get up on this rock is going to be to actually use these little branches here. So for the most part, you are safe. The only thing I've seen patrolling was a larva over there. There are some stink bugs over there, pretty far away. They should leave you alone. Now, here's where you're located on the map. It's going to be really close to the ice cream area. So if you want to build a special like outpost here, because it's not flat, something small, this would be a great location to do it. Now next up is going to be base location 14, which is this really large, wide open area with extremely minimal threats. There's a few mites over there, some larvae over there, and that is pretty much it. This area is very safe. You have access to sap, and you can actually place these sap collectors down on here. Lots of room to build with. The research station is on your front door. You've got clovers just up top, all the building materials you need. And then just over there is going to be the tree for acorns as well. And it's located right here on the map. As soon as you get out of the starting area, located in the snack bar front. Now next up is base location 15, and we're going to utilize this branch or this root here from this tree to build our base. As you can see, it extends all the way out over here, perfectly flush, just over the top of it. Now you will need to be careful, as there is a wolf spider that patrols that area here, and there are some scorpions that do go through and spawn here. So I'd recommend you build up all the walls here so they don't see you, and they should leave you alone. And then on this side, you can actually use the root down here to get up. You can also place your sap collectors down here as well. And that's going to be located right here on the map. Now last is going to be the honorable mention, located in the back of the statue, directly behind the main center area. Now, I actually did bridge up here in creative, and this is why it's an honorable mention. I don't know if you can build here in survival, nor if it's a smart idea in the event they destroy your base. But I wanted to showcase this because it reminded me of the hedge area, where you can kind of get out of the map. So if you build over the gate, again, I'm not sure if there's an official way to get here, but if you build over the gate and you follow this rock all the way to the back, you'll notice there is some dandelions and there is stuff back here. I think I've seen a couple of aphids as well, but there is this massive flat area, and there are no hostile creatures here at all, and you can build directly on this rock, unlike many other areas in the game. So you just have a lot of space to work with. It's very well lit. As you can see, there are other resources too. There are sprigs, there are boulders or rocks, there's dry grass, and there's a molar. So I feel like because there's a molar, there's probably a way to get here. Again, I haven't tried this in survival, but I would assume since there's a molar actually, that you should be able to go through and build here. Alright, well if you did enjoy today's video, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing for future Grounded 2 content, and I'll see you all later.